July 4th is the Independence Day of the U.S. This year marks the 235th birthday of United States of America. A multitude of people showed up to a celebration at the Intercontinental Hotel last night, including those with diplomatic status and those from the business sector. U.S. Ambassador Christy Kenny was the host of the event. She welcomed all guests upon arrival in front of a backdrop of the American flag. Ms. Yingluck Shinawatra, the soon-to-be first female prime minister in Thailand history, also made an appearance to congratulate Ambassador Kenny. Ms. Yingluck was accompanied by a large entourage, though she did not give any interviews to the press. Ambassador Kenny emphasized the great Thai-American relationship during her opening address, and she also congratulated Thailand for a great turnout at the general election.
The Thai-American friendship is a very long and very special friendship, one that the people of America cherish very dearly. And so we were very proud and offer our strong congratulations to the Thai people on the elections that were held on Sunday. It was wonderful to see so many people come out to vote and vote so peacefully.
Ms. Kenny, on the other hand, gave the press interviews mostly focused on the recent election. She started off by giving her reaction to the election turnout.
I always thought it was wonderful. I thought it was terrific to see so many people who wanted to come out and vote.
She has also revealed that she had a meeting as well with outgoing Prime Minister Apisit Wechashiwa, and that she had congratulated him on running a great campaign, as well as looking forward to working with the opposition as they have always done. When a reporter asked what she expects to see from the newly elected government, as well as particular things that the new government should focus on, she answered.
Well, I hope the new Thai government will be a government that brings people together and that moves the nation forward. Thailand should be a great leader in the region, great economic opportunities, and I'd love to see that happen for Thai people. They obviously, need to come up with a good platform, and I think it's important to bring Thai people together. It's a great opportunity.
She also emphasized on the bilateral relations between the U.S. and Thailand as the country is going through this transition from one party-led government to another.
The bilateral relations will remain strong. They've always been strong, they are strong, and they will be strong.
When asked what might be the areas of policy priority that the U.S. will work with Thailand, Ambassador answered.
I think for us, it's always important to think about how we can work with Thailand on economy, certainly making our people safe, and very importantly, helping out in the region. I think together we work on health research, refugee issues. There are a lot of things we do, I think, to make people's lives better.
And of course, there came the inevitable question. What were her thoughts on Thailand's first female head of state?
I think the Thai people have spoken. I think that was the choice of the Thai people.
Not only did Ambassador appreciate the great turnout in the Sunday election, the UK ambassador to Thailand, Asif Ahmad, also shared his views on the Sunday election as well as Thailand's political future.
Are you surprised with the Sunday election?
I'm not surprised, I'm actually very pleased because what has finally happened in Thailand is that everybody who wanted to vote got out and did what they had to do. The parties fought a good election, professional election, and there was no violence, and I actually went around Bangkok to many, many constituencies to see the voting, and it looked like voting any other country.
Now, based on a fair election, do you think it was a vote for the red shirts or it was the vote for the against the current government, like the outgoing government?
I think everybody voted for different reasons. I think a number of people voted on party lines. Somebody voted because they wanted a change and a difference. But also don't forget, I mean, many people voted for their traditional party support. I mean, if you look at the South, it's predominantly Democrat. Some individuals held their constituencies. So I think it's a mixed result, and people had different motivations.
Do you think the Sunday the election will heal the divisions within the country?
That is our sincere hope, because what has been happening to Thailand is very sad to see as a friend of the country. I was here last May running the embassy during its very difficult period. And what I hope also is that if there is stable government, then the UK can talk to a government about the big issues of the day. Because the big issues are not the immediate things about colour politics. The big issue is what will Thailand do about climate change, about the economy, about infrastructure development. Because one thing that's very striking to me in Thailand is that you're very centred on Bangkok as an economy.
Right.
I've visited many places like Ubon Ratchathani and other parts of Thailand and Surat Thani and places. How different it would be if the jobs came to the people rather than the people coming to the jobs.
I see. Now, how will the next 2 months politically turn out to be in your opinion?
Well, it's too early to say, but our hope is that in this period before Parliament approves the new government, people will look at the opportunities in a sincere way when they offer themselves up for cabinet role and other roles in the Thai government. But I also hope that the opposition will prepare itself so they can hold this government to account.
Now, as we're going through the transition between the Democrats-led government and the soon to be Pheu Thai-led government, will there be any adjustment between the bilateral relations of the UK and Thailand?
Well, for us, luckily, the relationship has always been very strong through very, very good times as well as to some of the more challenging times in Thailand. And we therefore always speak to our friends in Thailand constructively. And we've been with you through the good times and the bad. And the best vote of confidence you can get is through our own people. 850,000 British tourists come here, 51,000 citizens live here. And the UK is still the EU's largest investor in this country. So we are actually voting with people and with money in Thailand. And therefore, what we want to see is a maturity in our relationship, because we want to move on from short-term, day-to-day issues to the big challenges that we face in the world, and we want Thailand to be a part of that global debate.
Now, do you think that the ongoing Thai-Cambodian border conflict will improve after the next government?
I sincerely hope so for one very simple reason, because the situation as it is actually a win-win situation potentially. If you have a World Heritage Site on your border, guess where people will travel to that place from? They'll go from Thailand. It's not very easy to get to the Preah Vihear temple from Cambodia. And if you look at Siem Reap right now, it's well within Cambodia, but all the visitors go to that site through this country. Also, people have not talked about something else, which is that in the maritime area, in the sea area, which is also disputed, there's potentially a lot of oil and gas there. And both Thailand and Cambodia are desperate for energy. You know, you had the recent gas leak, which everybody should have been a warning to everybody about what could happen if you have energy shortages. So why not turn this conflict from a lose-lose to a win-win? That's my view.
A lot of people seem very excited about the soon-to-be the first female Prime Minister of Thailand. What is your thought on the fact that she is still very political novice when it comes to that? Do you think she's capable of running the country and getting the country out of the conflict?
Do you know, no matter how experienced you are, when you become Prime Minister, you're a novice from day one. Because the situation is always new, it's always different. If you look at our own government, the current Prime Minister of the UK never held a ministerial position. Mr. Blair came into government never having been a government minister. You learn on the job, but if your policies are right, if you choose the right people to work with you, and if you are sincere in what you want to achieve for your country, and then you're held to account, then those are the recipes for success. We've had a woman Prime Minister in Margaret Thatcher, controversial in some eyes, but certainly a remarkable individual as a Prime Minister. So I don't think it's a gender issue or an issue of experience, it's an issue of how competent you are once you're actually given a tough job.
Can you draw similarities or differences between the outgoing Prime Minister and the soon-to-be Prime Minister, in your opinion?
In my view, I think both are remarkable characters. I think I've certainly met Kun Abisit many times when he came to London, in Brussels when he was there representing Thailand, and obviously here as the British ambassador. And no one has ever questioned his integrity and his sincerity in the way he approached the job. And even in defeat, he was gracious. And that's the mark of a good man. I think in Kun Yingluck, who I met very recently for the first time, only because she was declared very late, I also saw somebody with a lot of capability and someone who was willing to listen. I talked about some very serious issues, and one question I posed to her was, as a member of a family that is so famous, what lessons have you learned from the past? And she was reflective on those issues.
How about this? What do you foresee happening for this upcoming five-party coalition government?
I can see the strategy behind it. Basically, the Pheu Party don't need coalition partners. What they're doing is they're bringing inside the tent people that to be safe, and therefore you have friends and you have a more robust base from which to govern.
Right.
And then I think in some ways is reaching out and respecting voters too, because these people had support around the country. And if together they can govern sensibly, that's fine too. But I think it's equally important that the opposition acts in that way, because one of the problems with Thailand in the past, and I've said this before, is that if your objective is simply to overthrow a government, then when you get your hand on the wheel, the other guy will simply come and push you out as well. So I think the real challenge is to be a constructive opposition.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
All in all, everything went smoothly in this year's celebration of America's independence. The large turnout and positive environment made for a great night for all who attended. But aside from the celebration, most everyone's conversation was focused on the election, as well as speculation about what the future holds for Thailand's political path. Wichitra Duangdi, ASEAN Newsroom.
Well, coming up next, the quarrelsome over the Spratly archipelago between China and the Philippines still going on after the break.